See, now we're reconnected. So that part of it
I'm all
worked.
messed up over here.
It'll be fine. And then the dude will come in and we'll hang and
Okay,
life
Judy.
will be beautiful once again. There he is. Now watch. Let's hear the doorbell. Ding. Here's the doorbell. Now
Judy
let's
Tiger, I am
come in. And
Come on, Doobie, be
he's
there.
coming. He's coming. Here he comes. He flashed. It flashed.
I'm not seeing the picture.
Either am I. I don't understand. I have no clue. Is your
What can we do?
camera plugged in?
It worked before.
Wow.
This sucks.
Our guests are coming back in.
That's so weird.
What the hell?
I don't know.
What the hell? What the hell?
I don't know, man. How are you?
I'm so excited about this.
Yeah. I want a do-over. How are you?
Uh-oh. Mercury is in retrograde.
Oh,
the
that's what
planet
it
of
is.
Communication. That's what
Fucking
Sue
Mercury.
said.
How have you
It's
been,
not
bro?
Mercury.
Well, I'm doing as good as one can be. I mean, where do you want me to start?
Well, I anywhere you want to start. I mean, I don't know why we have no video from you. This is horrifying.
I don't know. It's really pissing me off. I got to tell you, because I was all set to go here.
I'm excited about this, and all of a sudden now I'm looking at video settings. Let me just see if there's anything on. It's not here.
I mean,
No.
Steve usually
Enable
messes up
stop
the
incoming
sound.
video feature. That's not
But he
it.
never messes up the video.
Yeah, no, never mess up the video.
I don't know. It worked at sound check.
This is freaking crazy. Yeah, I'll tell you what, they change this software and they update this and then they don't
All right, well,
update
the
that.
people are all coming back in the room.
All right. Well, grab your drinks and sit on down. We're trying to figure this crap out.
You know,
Show Ed,
Call
zoom,
Randy.
stop. Call Randy. Randy!
Randy!
Ask me to confirm when I'm leaving the meeting. No. Zoom updates. Client
No,
slow.
I wouldn't do any updates.
Try fastest for features and updates. I don't know. I don't know. I can't find anything here.
I'm clearly at a loss.
I'm clearly at a loss too. Honest and truly, I have no idea because I should be I'm hearing you. That's the thing. And every time you talk, let me see what options oh wait, here, participants. Hang on a second. I do this invite. No, that's Angus. I don't want to invite Angus. I mean,
Well, you know.
love him and everything, but that's not. That's not it. Invite. This sucks.
This really sucks.
Man, and it says Joe X Doobie is talking every time you talk.
Well, I'm glad,
Yeah, so am I, but why? Oh, you ready, Doob? Ready?
Oh, go.
Try this.
Okay, start my video. Here we go. Well, I hit start my video. Start video. Still nothing.
Oh,
How come you got such a thing?
It worked with Angus?
It was, and you sure the camera's plugged in?
It's a computer.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
computer,
So wow.
It worked as
Kitty
sound
came
check.
up for a second. Kitty said he came up for a second.
He did come up for
That's
a
what
second?
she said.
That's weird. This is just too weird.
I got a.
For a second.
Wait a minute, what's this more down here? Unmute themselves, start video. No, boy, this is unmute themselves, mute upon, start video. And I have a video, I've got a, direct message. Wow, I've never seen half of this stuff.
Wow, my
It's a learning experience.
Yeah, well, we can still talk to you, but we'd like to see you.
Yeah, I was listen,
It's a good thing we're trained professionals here, you know?
Yes, it is because this is what they call stretching,
Yeah, yeah.
as I'm sure you know.
Okay.
We've all had gigs like this.
Yeah, man.
And looked at your looking glass video on YouTube, and
Oh,
Randy,
yeah.
you were wearing the coolest clothes.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Let's just fuck this. Let's just talk.
All right. Well, we could do that. Wait a minute. What's this? Okay, now get rid of this. Ah.
Okay, Kitty said the first few seconds at the
Okay.
beginning,
She
at least
saw
it
him?
looked like it. Okay, at least it looked like it.
Oh no. All right. So anyway, dude,
Yeah, man.
we're gonna have to. We're gonna reschedule the show, but because I mean, but if I was talking to you, man, how have you been? It's been a long time. Um, we've kept a lot of good thoughts and sent stuff your way. What's been going on?
Well, I was telling Angus I had two answers to that question. Either I was in prison or I was really sick. You you can pick.
I don't think you were in
Yeah,
prison.
yeah. No,
I was really it was actually number two. I was actually pretty sick.
oh, I know. Yeah, I know you were. I do know you were.
We were saying our prayers.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, and that's the kind of thing that gets you through this. With so many friends and people that you know and acquaintances that tell you you're in my thoughts and prayers. And there, it's not just an empty ass statement, but it was really true.
Oh, actually,
yeah.
there's no question that it's true.
And it made a difference. It absolutely made a difference to my recovery, knowing that there's so many people out there sending so much love, you know.
So
Yeah,
are you
yeah,
out of the woods?
yeah. So I mean, what tell me about the journey. What the hell?
Well,
What,
you know, I back in the turn of about a year ago, right around now, I really had trouble swallowing. So I called my physician. I said, I can't swallow too good. Is this the new normal, like everything else? And she said, no, why don't you go see an ear, nose, and throat guy? So I went to an ear, nose, and throat guy, and he said, let's take a look. So he looked down there, didn't see nothing. He put the thing down your nose. Didn't see nothing. Let's do a CAT scan. Did a CAT scan, didn't see nothing. He said, let's do an MRI. Did an MRI, and he says, oh, look, there's a little white dot at the bottom of your tongue. So they did we did a biopsy, and it said, yep, you got it. So then they did a PET scan to see if it was anywhere else. It was not. So I had my choice of doing either robotic surgery, which I thought was pretty cool because it was Mr. Roboto.
Yeah, it's Roto. Yeah, of course, it's robotic surgery.
It's like Devo or chemotherapy and radiation. And so I said, well, let's cut it out here, fellas. Let's see if we can get it in one shot. Because if you cut it out, then I'm done. If I don't, then you gotta, kick my ass. So we did the surgery, and they said, well, we got most of it. We didn't get all of it. So we now need to go through chemotherapy and radiation anyway. So at the beginning, yeah. So beginning of May is when we did the surgery. Middle of June is when I did 6 weeks of radiation, 5 days a week. Every day at 9 o'clock, I'd get zapped for 15 minutes, and then I'd go upstairs and get my ass kicked getting chemotherapy. Oh. They're basically poisoning you. Yeah. After 6 weeks of that, they would wheel me in a chair because I couldn't walk.
Oh man!
Holy shit!
I couldn't walk. I could barely talk. I was literally a basket case. So from the end of that, I would still go to the infusion 5 days a week to get saline hydration, just to put some liquids back in my body. I lost 45 pounds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. You weren't overweight to begin with.
Well, I can now fit. I can go back and fit into the clothes that I had in '76, which are up in the closet. And I started, and I couldn't really eat anything. I got this. I'd show you, but I got this tube sticking in my stomach where I would pour some sort of beige liquid in 4 times a day for nutrition. So I was eating via tube. I couldn't swallow. I couldn't even swallow my own spit. I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs. I couldn't only get halfway. It's a slow climb back out of the hole. I've been going to physical therapy now for a while to get some strength back. I'm now on day 14 of eating real food. I've committed to not using the goddamn tube again, which is good. And I'm like turning into a regular guy again.
Wow,
Thank
man.
God
That's
answers
like,
prayers.
that's,
Oh, and all my hair fell out and my mustache fell off.
wow, man.
Oh, you don't have a mustache.
I was twirling my mustache one morning and I'm standing there in front of the mirror and the whole curl came out in my hand.
Wow.
I had hair like yours, Steve, and it just all came out. It all came out in clumps, and my mustache came out in toto. So basically, I was denuded.
Wow, man.
It'll go
Oh.
back.
Yeah, let me tell you what, it'll grow back. And
So now I'm doing a facial hair experiment where I haven't shaved since last June to see what comes back. And it's very interesting to see what's growing back and what's not.
wow, like, does it actually do something to the follicles?
Well, so the hair on the back of my head is coming in kind of baby fuzzy. The hair on my neck where the radiation started is not really doing very well. The cheeks are slowly coming back. I'm getting sort of chin whiskers again, and the lip whiskers are getting almost long enough to twirl. Stay tuned.
Wow.
You sound like you're feeling
Yeah,
good.
you sound great, man. I
Oh.
mean, that's a bitch. That's just,
Some people who've had this can't talk very well, including the second bass player for Stars, Orville Davis, my brother-in-law, who had the exact same thing I did, but 6 months ahead of me. And so we married sisters, we played in the same band, and we got the same cancer. I said, listen, Orville, I'm not trying to copy you or nothing, but this is getting a little weird here. He did not get his voice back quite yet, and he was doing voiceover work.
oh man.
Yeah. Well,
That's,
Angus told us, when it first happened, and he said that you didn't want to tell anybody, but
Yeah, so
we
we
did not
just
tell anybody. But we were thinking, hey, if we could, there would be more prayers for you.
Well,
But
thank you.
I think you got the right amount.
But I will tell you this, when Eddie Money was sick,
Yeah.
he said, oh, Stevie, don't tell anybody. I don't, and I'm thinking to myself, Eddie, man, think of all the prayers. Think of all the prayers.
Yeah.
Well, you think that first, but right now I don't care. It's my story. And I'll
Right.
tell you, one of the best people that was really helpful to me was Ricky Rocket from Poison.
Oh, sure, from Poison, right?
Yeah,
Drummer?
Ricky. Yeah, Richie told Ricky, and Ricky reached out to me and said, well, he had the same thing, and he told me, all right, man, here's what's going to happen to you, and we had a long conversation about that, and he was very clear. He was very upfront with it, and he was quite helpful to let me know what was about to happen to me for the next 6 to 9 months. I got to give the guy a lot of credit. He's a stand-up guy, and he really helped me out in the very beginning of what I had no clue of what was going to happen.
Wow, man, I didn't know he did. So he had it too, man. How did he find out that you had it?
Rano told him. Richie Rano told him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
someone ran
okay.
into him
Yeah,
last
somebody
week.
ran into him last week.
Oh, yeah, your buddy, Mark Hitt.
No.
Mark
No,
Hitt.
no. Well, that's not who told us. One of our viewers just said.
Oh, yeah, right. He was at some place, and he said, yeah, I saw you. No, Richie went to go see Mark's band play up in, Poughkeepsie or something. He said they were.
Okay, because this guy says, tell Joe I met his guitar player, Richie Reno, last
Yeah.
Friday night.
Oh, so
yeah.
he must have been at that show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Richie
Yeah,
must have gone to Mark's show.
That's what
Yeah,
happened.
Richie said they were fantastic.
No, I
That's great.
bet. I haven't heard them. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm sure it's
No, Richie was really impressed. It was really cool.
that's
So,
good.
so Ricky Rocket, he makes now a point of finding other guys like us that get this and he calls them and he reaches out to them and he says, look, here's what's going to happen to you. And it's a bigger bunch than you think. It's like Bruce Dickinson had it, and other guys from bands. It seems to be all the kids are doing it, and he's made a point of reaching out, taking it upon himself to reach out and give you the what's up, because we've both sat in the same chair, and for him to take the time to do that was a very, very compassionate thing to do.
Wow, well, that is a very compassionate thing to do, and I haven't seen. The last time I saw Ricky Rocket, I was walking into the Rainbow. That's how long it's been since.
Yeah,
yeah, with John. Yeah.
That Dennis.
Wow,
Oh my God.
crazy.
It's been a journey. I gave up a long time ago having any expectations of when I would be better, because you set a deadline. Oh, I'm going to be better by blah blah blah, and it doesn't happen. So now you just say, look, whenever I'm better, and you got to go with the flow.
Yeah.
Well, what's the prognosis? I mean, what's the
Well, it's up to me. It's up to me. I'm going to physical therapy to get my strength back so I can walk and do stuff. I haven't really played the drums yet, although my physical therapist says, you play the drums, sit down and play for half an hour. I go, maybe not yet.
half an hour?
That's like a lot. That would be doing a gig. Forget it. There's no way I could do a gig now. But I'm really dedicated to eating food every day by mouth,
Right.
and not using the nutrition tube into my belly anymore. And I'm doing the exercises to get my strength back in my legs and my arms. And it's a slow climb out of the hole.
Well, but you're climbing
Man, yeah,
out.
but you gotta,
Some people don't make it out.
let me tell you, have you ever seen the film, The Secret?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
watch it. Yeah, The
Isn't it?
Miracle Man. That's that's what you want.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Oh man,
It's
Doobie,
about
if
the
you haven't
power of
seen it,
positive
yeah,
thinking.
just watch it. The Secret.
The
It's got
Secret. I looked it up.
like a sealing wax S as a logo. It's on Netflix. It's everywhere.
Wow.
But just remember I told you about the
I
miracle.
will. I will.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's really up to me how fast I recuperate, and when it's ready, it's ready.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I have no
funny.
expectation.
I haven't had this much time not on the front lines in, I can't even think, years. It has to be 5 years since I've done any really hard,
Yeah.
touring, hard
Yeah,
playing.
Yeah.
And now I made this deal the other day, not the other day, but I made a 2 record deal with Deco to, I have some unreleased and whistle stuff and some tracks that we wanted to complete, and it's just this whole kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's not like the dregs of what's left. What can we put out? It's like awesome little gems. So
Yeah.
it's 2 volumes,
Wow.
and so one of the demos that we did, we actually did some demos for the Who. Pete heard our studio album and asked Pridden to ask us if we'd write some songs. This is 2001, after the hoopla, and I went to London. We wrote a bunch of songs, and I was smart enough to isolate the bass on some of the demos because we weren't doing them in the recording studio. We were doing them upstairs in the demo studio. So it was all digital, drum machine, and whatever. John played real bass,
Right.
and when I had to put a guitar part on or sing, I would do, but it was basically hybrid, demo type of thing.
Yeah. Right.
And so I put the bass part up the other day, and I said, man, I should just drop right in on this. And so I started playing, and it was like, I should play more.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I should be playing more. You can't just drop in on this. What's going on?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, because if I'm gonna, well, if I'm gonna contribute the drums to an end whistle track, they got to be up to it. So I'm working out. I'm on the same plan. I'm not fighting the battle that you're fighting, certainly, but I'm back in the workout thing. I'm doing my Peloton.
The last, this is really weird for me because the last time I was in a gym was 12th grade. Yeah, I never did any of that stuff. I played a few gyms, but I never went. And
Right? Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a.
and now I go because I refuse to be an invalid. I refuse to just succumb or wither away.
You
And
can't do that.
still, the thought of playing a full gig is really out of the question. Elliot Lurie, the lead singer in Looking Glass, plays this gig every year down in Red Bank at the Count Basie Theater. It's a benefit for the food kitchen down there. And usually for what he does is there's a house band, Brian Kirk and the Jerks, and there's usually a couple of guys like Elliot, that had a few hits and stuff. And everybody comes on and does a couple songs, but the band stays on stage the whole time. And so Elliot, a couple of years ago, when he started doing these, he says, "Dude, you want to play?" I go, "Sure." I mean, how hard is it to play two songs? And if you can't play two songs, you stink, especially those two songs. So I would go, and when Ellie's turn came up, I'd take the drummer, and he'd go stand over there, and I'd sit in and play two songs. This year, when he did it, he's like around. It was the gig's late December, around September, October. He calls me up. He says, "Hey, I'm playing Red Bank. You want to play?" I go, Elliot, I don't want to say yeah because if I don't want to stink. I don't want to go out there and not be able to do it 100%. So I said, maybe this year I'll just go watch. And it's the same thing as what you're saying. You're not going to go do it unless you can go kick your ass.
No, exactly. And when I went to do that Rat Race Choir reunion, I trained for that
No.
because not when we stopped playing, but when we were at it, it was 50 weeks a year, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And I had to be in that kind of shape so I went in, man, I worked out like a dog. I mean, it was fun because I was doing something that I love to do, but I was in it, man. I used to come out of my live room just soaking wet, no air.
Yeah.
I wouldn't turn the air on in there. I'd let it get, and it was the thing to do, man. I mean, it was the only thing to do. So I'm kind of doing it again.
Yeah. You have to, when I was in the depths of despair there, I really was questioning whether I ever wanted to play again. I just didn't think about, I said, I just can't do it anymore. And then I realized shortly as I started feeling better, I said, what's going to save my ass? Playing. Playing's going to save my ass.
Story, man. That's absolutely true story. That's what's going to save your ass is playing, is wanting to play, needing to play. See, the thing that I think was in my favor is I was a very physical drummer, so it was like cardio every day.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, let's go run 8 miles. You know what I mean? Well,
Right.
Well, smoking a cigarette, idiot.
Well, duh. You and Bunny.
Yeah.
You and Bunny.
Yeah. I was there. Well, listen, somebody had to do it. I'm glad I'm not doing it anymore, though. It's been.
Oh, hell no. But you're right. Me too. It's like running a sprint for an hour and then hitting a brick wall.
Yeah. Okay.
No wonder I threw up after every show. What are you kidding?
Did you throw up after? No.
I did. After I would come off of a Stars show where we didn't really nothing but play as hard and as fast as you can for 50 minutes. I'd walk over there and I'd just either pass out or puke.
What? Wow. Why? From why?
It's like running as hard and as fast as you
Oh,
can.
yeah, okay, all right. I get
and then hitting a brick wall.
Like cross country guys get
Faster.
Yeah, but I mean, but the way that they puke.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I had oxygen tank back there. I put my head in a brown paper bag, and nothing really helped except for just go sit in the corner with wet towels and stuff.
Wow.
I mean, it was hard. You know, if you're gonna, don't leave it on the stage. You know, don't leave it anyway. Just do it. Just do
Well, yeah. I mean, I
it.
I remember, and it was funny too because I went, like I said, I trained for that reunion gig,
What year was
at
that?
2017,
Oh,
December. So about what was that, 4 or 5 years ago, and I trained hard for it, right? And I knew what I needed to have, and I knew what I, well, how much to leave out on the stage, and then. My roadie comes up and says they want you to come back and play some Led Zeppelin songs with Zebra, and I'm like, okay. And, thankfully, I was in the shape to do it, but it was
yeah, yeah.
if you can't let it go,
No.
you can't. And the problem for me is if I have to be in a furious, I can't just sit back there and tap some
No.
time out. I need to be in a dogfight with a bass player or something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the way it is. And anything less than that, you don't think you're doing it all.
No, it's like, I mean, if I'm not sweating and bleeding and,
Yep.
you know, no, it's not. But,
You
and
know,
it's funny because I watch these videos of the new guys. I saw this kid, you know,
oh
everybody sends you the drummer videos, right?
yeah, oh yeah.
But I get this video from somebody, and it's a guy playing probably whatever the most sophisticated, uh, synthesizer kit is. What it is, the Yamahas or the who makes the really good
The Rollins.
Roland? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably a set of Rolands, like their new high, and it's a pretty big set, but it's all that, right?
yeah, yeah.
And the guy's like playing them, and he's making them sound like real drums. And I'm amazed, the cymbals and the whole thing. But in order to do it, he's got to play so light. I couldn't play them. I can't hold a fork that light. And I was, it was like amazing to hear him do it. But it's like, what happens if the power goes out, dude?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you're playing a gig and the power goes out, you keep going.
We do. He's unfortunately typing a letter at that point.
Yeah, or he's out there, twiddling his thumbs.
So yeah, but I mean, very impressive. From the Nam point of view,
Well,
very impressive what they've done with those drums. But it's got nothing to do with playing drums.
no, no. What can I tell you? No.
It's the difference between a stand-up bass and an electric bass.
Well, not kinda. I think it's a little bit more continuity between those two instruments than between electric drums and tubs.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit more insulting than.
I mean, they both have strings.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
true.
know if
Well, yeah. And the thing about it is, I've heard, of course, I had to get a set. I've had a few sets of them over the years, thought maybe, for recording. And there's always that one Bonham setting that has that go, gaga, go,
yeah, yeah.
go, go, gaga, right? I mean, just sounds like when a levee breaks. But you feel so stupid doing it like this, and it sounds like that. It's like, yeah, wow, okay, this is great.
No,
I
if
don't
you
even
want
have
to,
to
if
read.
you got, if you want to sound like that, you got to hit like that.
That's exactly right. But it's, I mean, hey, well, but I don't know. I mean, are they? It's very strange. It's very strange. Because there's so much that I embrace about the digital world.
Yeah.
I love what we're able to do. But sometimes it gets a little misguided, and it's
Just
just like,
because you can doesn't mean you have to.
or you should.
Well, you should.
Then the thing that I used to admire was hearing all the, and you'll remember, these were the days when Eddie Kramer used to turn the tape upside down, so
Oh
Henry
yeah.
played backwards, and
Oh
all
yeah.
the flan. Did you ever hear the flan? You know where flanging the name came from?
No, where did the name come from?
Oh,
But somebody leaned on on the one reel.
flanges. Remember that's what they used to put over the
Yeah,
biscuit,
somebody like leaned on it to warp it up. Yeah,
and they called it flanging. That's where the name came from.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some really old school guys. I heard a great story. When the Beatles were making records at Abbey Road, it was all of the guys were German. The Neumann guys and the
Oh yeah.
Sennheiser guys, and they wouldn't. They had to sign papers. They wouldn't let them put the microphone too close to the drum, and I mean it was just insane. And so a friend of mine was like on the cutting edge of that back in the day in New York when there were still the guys, the engineers in the lab coats, and I guess they're on 1-inch tape or maybe half-inch tape. It had to be 1-inch tape, and there's all kinds of clicks and pops. This is going back to like '62. Clicks and pops all over the place, right? And every time the guy takes the tape and he's rocking the tape back and forth so that he can hear the pop, right? And it must have been 4-track, right? If it was a 1-inch 4-track back then.
Right.
And it was and he'd find it and he'd take a little grease pencil and he'd mark right where the pop was, right? And then he'd play the tape again, hear another pop, he would know what track and what channel, and he'd go. And at the end of the whole thing, right, he goes back with a freaking hole punch.
Yeah, right.
Punches
Yeah,
out all those.
It's a window edit.
My window edit.
Yeah.
That's somebody with a hole puncher, man. That tape must have looked like Swiss cheese.
I mean, you've seen them. I've seen them where a guy takes a blade and he'll cut a little square out. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yes, I have.
Here, dig this. Here, dig this. Back in 71, no, 70, 71, I guess, we're trying to figure out where we're going to, Looking Glasses, trying to figure out where we're going to record. So we went to the big studio, CBS studio, the big church in Manhattan. And this is the days of when they had tape operators that were union, CBS. Okay. So you had a guy sitting next to it was 16-track by then. You had a guy sitting over next to the 16-track whose job it was to start and stop the tape. And he's sitting there on a stool reading the Daily News. And then it was, because his job normally is recording a symphony where you push record and you can go take a dump and come back. So we are doing some recording, and we did, he would say, okay, Myron, hit it. And he'd push play and push record, and then he'd start reading the Daily News. And then, the take was over and he'd stop, he said. So, we got to one where we wanted to do a punch in. It was kind of a quick punch in, you've got to be kind of quick. And he did it, or he thought he was going to do it, by looking at the speedometer, the tape counter. And when it got to 355, he was going to hit punch on track 16. And, who knows what bar it was, or who knows what beat it was on, but of course that's as good as he could get. He was doing that while the engineer had put cigarette butts in his ears because it was too loud. Now your engineer is listening to sound with cigarette butts in his ears, and the tape operator is hitting very tight punch-ins based on an analog flip over speedometer counter. Needless to say, we didn't pick that studio to record it.
No, I would. That's yes. Yeah.
We passed on that one.
Those are nice studios. Those CBS studios.
Oh, the room was great. The room was great, but yeah, it came with the CBS Michigas there.
Yeah, exactly. You got the thing. Yeah. I remember it well. Back in the '70s, it was 1970. Last time I was there.
Yeah.
So, man, jeez.
It's so good to hear you laughing.
Yeah, it is good to hear you laughing.
I missed you so much.
Well, I figured it this way: either get better or die. You pick.
We want you to get better.
Well, you know what? They're both good choices if they're quick. You don't want to die like. If you're going, go. If you're staying, stay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This was like, give me an alternative. Death? No.
No.
So you got to get better.
Well, you don't sound
Yeah.
like anybody that's dying.
Yeah,
to
you
me.
don't sound like anybody near death. And
No.
isn't that's the drums that kept us alive, man?
Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
didn't realize we really were going to the gym.
Well, it was the same thing. You know as I know that's a cardio workout better than any freaking treadmill you can do.
I hear
Yeah.
you, man. I hear you.
Why do I need to go work out? I play the drums.
Yeah, fuck Peloton, right?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. We talk about working out. John Entwistle used to say, I work out every day. Really? Really? Is that right? Yeah, I work out what I'm going to wear.
Ah!
So anyway, bum.
You're
Football.
gonna have to come in on
Yeah, you
Friday
could. Yeah,
again.
Friday. What's this? Today Thursday?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
we're
should try this again tomorrow for the free for all, man. Because I'd love to see you, bro. I mean, this is great, and I love you and the whole thing. But
We want to see ya.
we got to fix this, and we got to do this show over again because there's other things I wanted to talk about, but
Yeah,
No?
I'm all for it. Tomorrow we'll chime in and just hang around with the boys,
good,
Yeah,
good. It'll be
good.
good.
boys and
Yeah.
girls.
And in the meantime, we'll work out whatever this bug is. We'll figure it out with Angus tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll get it done.
You know, shit happens. You got to be able to go with the flow. We're having a nice chat, and this is good.
Hey,
So
shit
it's
happens
all
on
good.
this show almost
Shit
every
happens.
night.
Shit happens. Sometimes shit doesn't happen. And let me tell you this.
Yeah.
If shit happens at 11:59 p.m. and then it turns to 12 o'clock,
No.
the same shit, different day.
Oh.
Oh. Well, now one of our viewers from Detroit, Kitty Tiger, says this is still a great show. So
There you go.
There you go.
Just
She's
the doobie
enjoying it.
vibe.
That's
Just
right.
the doobie
Let me
vibe.
tell
That's
you,
what I'm,
people,
I'm what I'm talking about.
they have
Okay.
been asking for you. Like,
Yeah.
where's Doobie? Why
Yeah.
is he in here on
Yeah.
Friday nights?
Well,
Yeah.
you know, if you had asked me that question 5 months ago, you'd have to ask me with my head in the sink because I basically puke 24/7.
Oh man.
I lived in a sink I lived into my head in a sink for a couple of weeks.
Man.
Just
Poor
puking and
Dad.
puking and puking and puking.
Gosh. Well, I'm glad you're okay, bro.
Yeah.
I'm glad
And you're
you're
not
okay.
puking anymore, right?
Yeah, not puking.
No, that was bad. When I was basically wheeled in and out of the radiation room, and they would haul my ass and put it on the table to go to cobalt 60 me, and then they'd wheel me up to the place where I got poisoned with the chemo. Then I go home and puke all night. Have a nice day.
Well, see, yeah, that's what makes you puke and lose your hair. Because my mother had cancer.
I had nothing left in the tank.
Yeah,
I had
and
nothing left in the tank to puke. I was puking nothing.
well, she didn't do the chemo, and
Yeah, no.
there was no puking.
There wasn't a lot of living left either.
Oh, no, but she
you
was
know,
80-something years old.
well, you know what? All's well that ends well.
Yeah.
And sounds like this is going to be fine.
And,
And so
people are saying
yeah.
they're praying for
Yep.
you and so happy to
we're
hear
all
you
praying
doing
for you,
well.
bro. We miss you.
Thanks,
We
man.
love you. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Yes?
Thank you. Very cool. We'll do it again.
All right, bro.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Adios, amigo.
Arrivederci.
Love you, Doobie.
Love you, bro.
Love you too. See you later.
I see ya.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Most of you know I live in Southwest Florida now, and one of my favorite places to grab a bite to eat is Jason's Deli. Scott and Diana Willis have been in business here for over 20 years. The truth is, Jason's Deli has bigger choices of better food. You can eat healthy and enjoy the taste of quality ingredients. They're open 7 days a week for dine-in, pick-up, or deli delivery. With 4 convenient locations from Naples to Cape Coral, Florida, they are a must-try. Jason's Deli, where all good things come from wholesome ingredients. And Bradley's Jewelers in South Fort Myers. Diamonds, bridal, you name it, estate, custom design, and expert repair. Bradley's Jewelers, South Fort Myers. They specialize in amazing moments.
Yeah, and so do we.
That's right.
Doobie,
And,
man.
and
Wow, the Doobster.
talking about amazing moments, it sounded like Doobie to me.
Yep, it did sound like Doobie to me. I look forward to seeing him tomorrow. And let me tell you this, the thing about us is we don't tolerate the sicknesses. We don't want them. We don't want to give them any energy. So we pray for the people that need the prayers.
Right? And he did not want us telling anybody, so we did not.
But, there's power in that, and there's strength in numbers, and I'm glad he's okay, because that's a rough road,
he
man.
had to get through that chemo and the sickness, because I don't think we would have heard the same happy, lovable Doobie,
No.
It sounds like he's feeling better, and he's going to be coming back on.
And I really, get back on that kit, Doobie, man. That's going to be the best thing for you. I'll tell you the truth. I went in and recorded past few days, and it's much different when you go in for no reason. And when I say for no reason, what I basically mean is, when you're just going in to have a noodle around, or you say, I want to try something, or this and that. But when you have a reason, and I have a reason, going in there all of a sudden turns into a completely different thing. It's like go in or don't go in, but don't go in half-ass, and don't think that you're so good that you don't have to work it out a little bit, and don't think that oh well, it's me. I can, man. You know what? You got to work hard at this shit if you want to keep it going, and you got to be honest with yourself about how far it's going to be till you get there. So we do what we can.
That's right, and we want to say thank you for our new YouTube people that are coming on.
Oh, that's, yeah, and
Welcome.
man, you guys, let me tell you this, great things we need to, if I'm not asking you to go out and recruit audience for me, but share it. If you're having a good time, I'm sorry that Doobie's picture didn't come up for whatever reason it was.
Yeah, we'll get it back though.
But we're having a good time, and we have there's going to be this Monday is going to be interesting. I'm not sure. We have a couple of different options for what's going to be on Monday. Tomorrow, as you know, is Free for All Friday, and
yeah, so tomorrow.
And I'm hoping Doobie comes in for the Free for All.
So tomorrow, Free for All Friday.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I take your line?
Yes, you did. Everybody's saying good night.
For as many lines of mine as you've taken, pal, you owe me a couple. All right, kids, is it that time? I'm thinking it's almost that time.
Yeah, everybody's saying good night, so I think it's that time.
Oh, good night, everybody.
So if I don't see you,
if I don't see you in the morning, it's because I'm dead. If I don't see you in the future, I'll see you in the pasture.
good night, everybody.